Oh, hello! We have a new clip related to the My Little Pony A New Generation movie, and for the first time, this seems to be quite simply a clip from the movie. This isn't several scenes cut together. As far as I can tell, this is just 81 seconds of actual screen time from the movie as it will appear on Netflix. This is interesting because it is unfiltered. It is not edited by a marketing team to present it in a certain way to appeal to a certain audience. This is a glance into what the movie will actually be like. And me likey. Let me just get this out of the way first. I don't ship them. I'm very slow to ship. I don't ship Sunny and Izzy. I don't ship Sunny and Hitch. I made a video about some ships I don't ship in G4. As a rule, I don't ship a pair until they're canon, and even then sometimes I might complain about it. So I could dissect every frame and every line of this scene like I normally do, but I'm so busy with school right now I want to keep this brief. And I think for this scene, overall impressions are more important than going off on crazy theories based on one zoomed-in pixelated image in the background. So overall, I think it's cute and charming. The animation is good. We already knew the backgrounds were going to be good, but this is the first time we've really seen the characters moving and interacting for an extended time. The facial expressions are very good. I don't know if they're quite as expressive as the G4 characters, but they're pretty stormy adorable. As I've learned more about this movie, it started to look like they aren't going to be as horse-like as I originally hoped. This article from Animation Magazine really makes it sound like the animators aren't super committed to the equine form, but I didn't see any problems in this clip. None of their movements seem unnatural except for hooves being too dexterous. Most of their movements are really adorable. I mean, look at this ear flick! Look at this startle response. It all seems pretty good so far. And the voice acting seems on point. I do prefer that a series find its own talents rather than just picking established stars. I mean, some of the best acted things ever. The Lord of the Rings, RWBY, Friendship is Magic. The actors were basically unknown beforehand. However, the more famous stars of the G5 movie seem to be doing fine in this scene here. Vanessa Hudgens in particular is really going all out with this questioning session. I just hope all the voice actors of G5 can bring a level of enthusiasm similar to the voice actors of G4. And we also have our first look into the incidental soundtrack of the movie. I've been pretty disappointed by the soundtrack so far. I didn't like Glowin' Up or what we've heard of It's Alright, but the score is at least as important to me as the songs, and the score in this clip is really fun. I've said before that I like to hear a wide range of real instruments in the score instead of just that synthesized nonsense in the same few instruments, and the score in this scene checks those boxes. I mean, come on. Come on, that's great! Another thing I want to talk about is my impression of Sunny's character. Like I've said before, she's best pony for me right now, with Hitch running a close second. Her conflict, which I've inferred from the synopsis, sounds pretty interesting. As I see it, she's an optimist in a pessimistic world. She's trying to take the cutesy, cartoony lessons of G4 and apply them to a world that's become more cynical. She's kind of like the purest kind of brony who's too good for this world and doesn't realize that most people think bronies are Nazi pedophiles. Over the course of the movie, she may have a couple of weaknesses to overcome. Obviously, she's carrying some Earth Pony racism baggage. I don't think she's inherently racist, but she's a little blinded by her culture. I think she'll also have to learn that life is sometimes more complicated than a cat poster. I mean, listen to this bit from the synopsis. Her slightly misguided and often hilarious attempts to change hearts and minds have led to her being branded a misfit. Despite the fact that I feel I have a pretty good understanding of Sunny's character at this point, it wasn't until this video that I realized the commonalities with one of my favorite cartoon characters of all time, Judy Hopps from Zootopia. Okay, it's time to be fair. I've thrown down on Disney in my videos more times than I ever intended to do. It's just so easy to pick on them as the way to do things wrong. But Zootopia is an originally Disney movie. It's their own IP that they didn't buy from anyone else that is really, really good. And the best part about it was Judy Hopps. She's literally been a role model for me through some of the toughest times in my life. So when I say that Sunny is starting to remind me of Judy Hopps, I mean that as the highest of praise. I mean, look what they have in common. Wants to make the world a better place? Check. Overly optimistic? Check. Enthusiastic? Check. Misguided? Check. Blinded by their cultural biases? Check. Storming adorable? Check. There's a lot of parallels. The originality of the G5 movie is still a bit of a concern for me. They're really following the trends set by Disney on a lot of fronts. But what do I care if the movie is really good? It's actually looking a lot more appealing to me than a lot of Disney movies. But the elements that make Judy Hopps a good character are a recipe for success. So overall, I am very pleased with this clip. This movie looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Everything we've gotten so far has been put together for marketing's sake, so if they wanted to misdirect us, they could. Sometimes marketing campaigns try to sell a movie as something different than what it is, but this 81-second clip is the movie itself. So I see no need to hold back my optimism at this point. We've now seen an unedited clip of the movie, and it's just so cute!